I'm convinced that this guy just like makes rage bait every week. He like sits down at a whiteboard and he's like, okay, what can I say this week that's gonna piss off people more than they've ever been pissed off before? This is just a complete contradiction of what he's saying. I feel like he's just not really. Oh, he just said the thing. He said the thing. Oh my god. Okay, let's get to the toe. I stole that from Tony Black. He calls Rick Beato the toe. So we got the death of music genres here. Okay, the death of music genres.
So I'm driving my 11-year-old Layla to school the other day, and she said, "Can we listen to Loive?" And if you don't know who that is, well, I'll just play you the song. The song's called From the Start.
Bro, what the every fucking video of this guy, he fucking plays some copyrighted music and somehow he doesn't get claimed. He's automatically whitelisted from all of this shit. So I just can't play this. I'm gonna mute it. Who is this guy? Old man with 4 million subs. And this is the death of music genres.
Last year, it's got over 500 million plays. This is really a bossa nova. She says, "What is that?" I said, "That's a style of music that was big in the 1960s. There was a huge hit called Girl from Ipanema that came out in 1964.
So stop playing all this copyrighted music.
Era are we even in here?
Is it possible that the musical era we're in right now is just like, you can do whatever you want? You know, you can blend whatever you want?
In almost 2025. What I mean by that is, historically, each era had a defining sound or cultural movement, like swing in the 30s and 40s, rock and roll in the 50s and 60s, or even that.
There have been small, like, micro movements. That's a weird word. Such as, like, hyperpop. I don't even, does he even know about hyperpop, dude? This guy's, like, so untapped from, like, fucking culture. You know, I don't even think he knows hyperpop exists.
MTV-driven pop music of the 80s.
Does he know what cloud rap is?
Or, one of my favorite eras, grunge, or alternative rock of the 90s. This was because mass media, meaning radio, TV, MTV, print media, was all coordinated with major labels, which can...
I'm convinced that this guy just, like, makes rage bait every week. He, like, sits down at a whiteboard and he's like, okay, what can I say this week that's gonna piss off people more than they've ever been pissed off before?
Controlled the distribution channels of the music to create dominant narratives so that you would have these ubiquitous artists and songs. If you think of someone like Sting, Every Breath You Take, that song was known by everyone, which made it easier to label the era by a few breakout genres or styles. If you take a style like grunge, what does grunge sound like? Grunge is...
I think the thing is there's no, like, big genres anymore, you know? There's no new big genres. It's just, like, there's, like, small micro genres that come out and then like they don't really become mainstream, like hyperpop, for instance.
Heavy low tune guitars, introspective dark lyrics, really natural sounding instruments, and great singers like Kurt Cobain from Nirvana.
You fuck, stop this. The reason why I don't play this shit, like I try not to play this, one, it makes it more of a pain in the ass to clip it out. Two, you can get like blocked also. Like it could block the stream live. So mute, put on the captions. Great singers. Okay, he's just letting it play. Yeah, he's just naming people. Okay.
It's had its own fashion aesthetic as well. Think of things from thrift stores, flannel shirts, band t-shirts, ripped jeans, sweaters like Kurt Cobain would wear.
Sweaters.
Or combat boots. These were all things that were associated with the style of grunge. Okay, so when was the last definable era? To me, it would be the late 90s, early 2000s pop acts like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC.
I swear to God, he's doing this to fuck with me, dude, or to fuck with people reacting. This is a 5-minute video, and like half of it is like copyrighted music. Dude, this is like YouTuber privilege, dude. This is big YouTuber privilege right here. It's because only somebody with 4 million subs can play this much copyrighted music and not get struck in for it.
It's a really dominant musical era.
I will get claimed, dude. Every time I play one of his videos where he does this, I do get claimed, and I have to cut it out.
Here's an interesting fact. In 1999, record sales reached their peak when 600 million people spent an average of $64 on records, achieving $40 billion in sales of recorded music. That's insane. So what was the turning point that ended these dominant genres of music? To me, it was the internet and streaming. It was things like Napster, the iTunes Store, Spotify, YouTube. All of these things acted as a disruptor or disruptive force that changed the way that people discovered and consumed music. It relied on algorithmic playlists and global distribution, which gave equal footing to niche artists and micro genres. The result was that no single dominant or must-hear genre movement was able to flourish because...
Well, yeah, I guess that's true. Like the death of radio, or like the lessened popularity of radio, or the fact that it doesn't really control the way it used to. It's kind of hard for like a big genre, or for a genre to be the big thing, but also I just don't think there's that many ideas left, or that many ideas that would be popular in the mainstream like that, or fresh ideas, you know? Like, I just don't think hyperpop was ready for mainstream consumption.
Listeners followed their personal taste curation rather than mass consensus. That mass consensus...
See, this is not the death of music genres, though. This is just like the death of, I guess, like the way large music genres would be like proliferated. I don't know.
This was created by things like having a 3-month window in which the record is set up. All records were set up with this 3-month period. You'd release a single. You'd go to press 3 months ahead of time. You'd be in all these magazines. You'd have your video hit on MTV.
It's pretty fucked up, the whitelist his channel, but technically they should be whitelisting every channel that's doing like fair use content with music. You know, it's pretty fucked up.
Everything would happen at once, and you would build that consensus, and
privilege.
Everyone was hearing this record all at the same time. In today's musical landscape, there are countless subgenres that exist in parallel.
That is true. Emo, well, yeah, emo did kind of roll in like the late 2000s, maybe early 2000s. I don't know if emo is the right word, but you know, like mall screamo or whatever. And then dubstep in like the early 2010s.
Bedroom pop, lo-fi beats,
I feel like he's just not really... Oh, he just said the thing! He said the thing! Oh my god, he knows it exists, dude! What the fuck? Wait, hold on.
Bring this record all at the same time. In today's musical landscape, there are countless subgenres that exist in parallel.
This is just a complete fucking contradiction of what he's saying, but I guess, like, you know, he's just clickbaiting.
Everyone
he said the thing, dude. What
all at the same time. In today's musical landscape, there are countless subgenres that exist in parallel. Lo-fi beats, hyperpop, neo-soul revival, niche metal scenes like progressive metal, and each of them have their...
I can't believe he said the thing, dude. I did not think he knew hyperpop existed.
...own dedicated fan bases. Because today, there's really no unifying broadcast platform like we had with radio and MTV that...
And that's a good thing. That's actually a good thing, though.
...forced this collective experience for listeners. So we're really...
Yeah, that shit sucked, though, dude. That shit was so garbage, dude. Do you guys miss the radio? No, I think he... I mean, I'm assuming he misses it. I do not miss that shit, though, at all. Fuck that, dude. I can turn on the radio in my car, and I have not turned that shit on since I installed my stereo. Not once.
Now we're in what I would call a post-genre world, where artists openly blend styles like rap and country, or jazz chords and R&B, or electronic music and rock, blurring the boundaries of these specific genres. And genre labels feel increasingly
Maybe calling it post-genre, that's a little better.
Dated, replaced really by mood-based or influencer, I hate that word, influencer-driven curation. The industry success
disgusting, dude. Don't ever say that
metrics
again.
Now reflect broad, varied tastes.
Yeah, college
you can have
radio's
massive global hits that people don't know.
The problem with college radio, though, is you never know what you're going to get. Like, it depends on the DJ, dude. Like, sometimes I would turn it on before, like, when I used to go to college, go figure. Depending on the DJ, it's like, oh, this is awesome. Or it's like, oh, this is the worst fucking thing ever, dude. Like,
when I did my video on Blinding Lights, it's the most streamed song on Spotify. There's so many people say, I've never even heard that song. I know so many people that have never heard a Taylor Swift song. They know who she is. They don't know any of her music. I just did this video where I mentioned Mr. Beast, the biggest person on this platform. Half the comments are like, I don't know who that is. So are we between eras, or is this the new?
Bro, that's super meta, because that video was about how Mr. Beast didn't know who Prince was, but then there was a bunch of people in his comments who didn't know who Mr. Beast was.
Normal. It's possible that we're in a transitional phase, the algorithmic age, where discovery is personalized rather than...
I don't know if it's even a transitional thing, dude. Like, I don't know, like, what's it transitioning to? When's it going to stop? It could just be stuck like this.
Collective.
Yeah, they were.
But for
probably
now,
stolen.
we're living through a moment where each listener can curate their own mini era, I guess, where there's no particular dominant sound, just a galaxy of possibilities. Love to know your thoughts. Hit the subscribe button, leave a comment. Thank you.
I don't know. I just feel like this title's not accurate. Death of music genres. It's just the death of like radio, basically, which promoted big genres and like sounds at a time, and like MTV and shit like that. Look at the comments. Okay, should we look at new comments or? All right, let's see what's going on here. Makes sense. Oh, that's a good comment. Rick, you're reading about the hipster era, all the great indie folk and indie rock. Ugh, indie folk. Honestly, couldn't name one Swift song. Okay, I don't like his comments, dude. I would love to discover new styles, bands, songs, whatever the platforms recommend, stuff like that. It turns out to be at least 25 years old. Like it seems like a lot of people are just like old people that watch him. I know not everyone is, but it seems like a lot of old people watch him. Do some comparative analysis with other genres like literary and poetry. Okay. Rick equals sad or boring, winging, moaning old man. Oh, God. Brilliant analysis as usual. At the mercy of the algorithm, the pre-AI music era. Imagine being somebody who's like, I exclusively listen to AI music. I listen to AI slop. They're like proud of it. I listen to AI slop.